everybody. Welcome to the Facial Recognition Comedy Podcast. My name is Zara Ali.
And I'm Fizza Dasani.
And I'm Pallavi Ganalan.
And today we have a lovely, multi-talented guest. Give it up for Candice Thompson.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Of course.
We just actually recorded the Comedy Pop-Up podcast right before this, so we're just like, you want to be on our podcast?
Sure. I'm already here. It's so convenient.
So we're just going to segue into that. You want to... Tell the listeners who you are, Candice.
Yeah, Candice, who are you?
Why am I stuttering?
Why don't you guys already know? First of all, that's the first problem I have with this. No, I'm a comic, just like you guys. You can find me on social media, Jokes by Candice, CandiceThompsonComedy.com. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a comic. I'm a woman who does comedy.
You're a woman in comedy. Mm-hmm. You are a regular at the Comedy Store.
I am.
Where we see you.
A regular at the Comedy Store.
How long into comedy did you get passed at the store?
I got passed 3 years ago, and so that was probably like 6.5 years in.
Yeah.
What got you into comedy?
I've always been a silly, goofy person, like my whole entire life, and even knowing that, I didn't know that was like, oh, I'm funny, let's just be a comic. I never thought that. We all grow up and we are, influenced by our parents and whoever you're surrounded by. So I was like, oh, I'm going to just go to college and live a normal life and just be a funny person who goes to college and gets a regular job. But for some reason, I think around, and I'd always been I loved stand-up, watching stand-up. I loved watching, I remember watching The Tonight Show when I was really young, Johnny Carson, and just being memorizing the comedians, and when they would do their bits, I would memorize it. But again, never thought I'd end up doing it. It was in college, probably 5 or 6 months before I graduated, that I was like, I don't want to use my major. I was like, I don't think I should.
What was your major?
I was a science major. I studied diet. Yeah, you guys all can't talk for the rest of the show. It's just going to be me. Jinx, Padlock. I went to school for science and dietetics. So I studied nutrition.
Oh, okay.
And health. And so I was going to have to work in a hospital for a year, and doing an unpaid internship for a year, take an exam, and then have my own practice eventually. But I was like, I'm going to have to work in a hospital. And the more I thought about that, I was like, this does not sound right for me.
Yeah, hospitals are
sterile.
They're the anti-comedy, it's just not, not fun. It's very depressing.
Yeah, no, I was like, this doesn't sound right. I'm going to be laughing at people, making fun of people who just got their legs amputated from diabetes. I'll be there roasting somebody who just had a leg amputated. So I was like, this is probably not where I belong. So I just was like, you know what? I feel like God gave me a talent. I feel like that was not a mistake. So I was like, Mom, Dad, I feel like I want to move to LA and try and write for television. I wanted to get into sitcoms and acting, but still had no idea about stand-up. I didn't even think about stand-up at all. And then I moved out here. They were very supportive. And I started taking acting classes and then sketch comedy classes. I was at the Laugh Factory. I was in a sketch group with Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish.
What?
Years. It was the first thing I did even before I started doing stand up. And that was back in 2006.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And Kevin was just starting to take off at that point. We noticed his attendance just waning every week. Where's Kevin? And it's oh, he just booked
busy.
a movie. Right.
He's popping right now.
Then all of a sudden he was no more Kevin. It was you guys, I think Kevin's done with the comedy playground. So
this is how I know Fizza's about to blow up, because she's just just did her exit from our sketch group, and we're like, yeah, she's too busy. She's too busy.
Try to be the Justin Timberlake and try to go solo.
Meanwhile, I'm taking on the rest of Fizza's lines, and I'm like, oh, great, this is great.
During pilot season, I called her. I was about to have a panic attack. I'm like, I can't do this. I have to memorize 50 pages by tomorrow. Can you play all the Indian characters that I
Can you play Malala? Can you just do Malala's line?
You could be Eddie Murphy in what was the movie where he played Nutty Professor, where he had the Clump from the Clump family, where he played 6 different people sitting around a table.
Everybody.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting good at it.
Yeah,
I was just Fizza's replacement, basically.
Oh, you killed it.
No,
I wasn't there, but I know you killed it.
I'm working on it. So Kevin was popping off, and you were still working with Tiffany?
Yeah, Tiffany was in the group, Tiffany, Chris Spencer, David Arnold, Rodney Perry, some friends, some other friends that were kind of nobodies like me who just joined. And so yeah, that's where I started. And then from that, I got introduced to stand-up. A friend of a friend was like, you should try stand-up. And I said, okay. And then so I did, and yada, yada, yada.
That's dope.
Yeah, I just kind of fell into it.
Do you still eat well from your college understanding?
I do.
Damn. You should hold
You guys will get mad at me if I tell you what I eat.
How is that possible? Because I feel like I'm always performing during dinner time. So I don't get
eating the free pizzas and the alcohol.
Yeah. And so like by the time I get around to eating, it's like 11 o'clock and nothing's open.
Yeah. You know? LA sucks it's great in so many ways, but it sucks in a few ways as well. The first one being traffic. Also the cost of living, but also the food places close so early.
I know.
And nightlife.
Yeah, exactly.
And nightlife. Like if you don't have like a house party to go to after you've been to the club, then it's like, I have to go home. And unfortunately, it's only 2 o'clock in the morning.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in New York, first 10 years of my life, but then Cincinnati, Ohio.
I have family in Cincinnati.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I still have my immediate family there.
I'm going to Cleveland in this week.
You doing shows there, or are you just going
to? My brother is walking because he got his PhD.
Yay!
What's the school there?
Case Western.
Yeah, my cousin went there. Rebecca. She's like a person. She's a doctor who but she works with corpses and stuff.
A pathologist, or
I think so.
Nice.
Yeah,
she's the one that does the autopsies.
I don't know if she still does that, but at one point she was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, can we get her on the podcast?
She lives in Arizona. She lives in Arizona
when
now.
She's visiting LA, we'd love to have her.
Oh, she's great. Her name is Rebecca, and she's fantastic.
Shout out to Rebecca.
So you guys have roots in New York?
Yeah, my dad is the one that was born in Bed-Stuy and grew up there his whole entire life. And then my mom moved from Virginia to New York when she was like 19, and they met. And then
Madonna style.
Did they meet all like at the club somewhere?
No.
Where did they meet?
They met, I believe, in an office building.
Because you're like big on this nightlife. You're like, nightlife's a big problem.
It is.
Trying to figure out
out here, man.
The reason Zara's fixated on this is because Zara likes to party.
Oh, she like, where you go?
Yeah, she wants to know.
Where the turn up at tonight?
She'll interrogate you until you tell her.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, and out here, I don't know of places to go because I'm, in comedy clubs most nights, so I don't know. But yeah, no, I do like to turn up every once in a while.
What's your turn up look like?
Can't tell you guys that. I mean, honestly, I'm an innocent turn up. Like I don't do like coke or anything like that, but like I'll smoke weed. I like to get lit a little bit, and I have no tolerance. I'm not a big drinker, so it takes me like 2 drinks to get like lit. And then like late night snacks, like that's my turn up.
Yes.
But like, yeah,
dancing. Do we like the dancing?
I love dancing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love dancing.
Feels so refreshing.
I feel like LA doesn't dance enough. Everyone's just kind of standing around.
Everyone's too cool to dance out here. And everyone's too concerned.
Do you ever feel weird turning up around other comedians?
Never.
Okay.
Never.
It's like a lifestyle.
Oh yeah, no.
9 a.m. Coke.
Yeah, no. Well, I've done. Do you guys know Justine Marino?
Oh, I saw you on it.
Oh, you saw the first one or the second one?
Was
I can't remember.
Stand Up to the Streets?
That just got picked up by E.
Yeah.
Yeah, the E Network.
Congratulations,
Heidi and Justine
and Justin.
Justin.
Yeah. So dance. No, I have no qualms about twerking in front of other comedians. Yeah, no, I love dancing, and I grew up dancing, and it was just like. I still love it. Don't have enough opportunities to do it.
I grew up dancing too, but I feel kind of like I'm trying to still prove myself to other comedians, so I don't get to be as nasty as I want. I'm slowly breaking down that wall, though. I'm trying to.
Girl, you get there.
I'm an aspiring hoe. That's what I'm trying to do.
It's the year of the hoe.
The year of the hoe.
I mean,
I told somebody that I'm an aspiring hoe, and they're like, yeah, I noticed from your Instagram stories. And I was like, wait, it's working? Amazing.
Wait, what do you be doing on your Instagram stories?
Yeah, what does that mean? What does an aspiring hoe do versus a regular hoe?
I don't know. I'm putting together some thoughty pictures. I'm like, trying to
get our portfolio together.
I'm really working on my whole life. So.
I've never been a hoe, and I have started to regret it a little bit. Just because we were talking about this earlier, about how like you feel like your younger years, like, oh, I should be fucking a lot more.
Yeah. Wasting all that good pussy.
Yeah, wasting all the pussy. Wasting all of it. So it's like, maybe it's time.
Does it dry out?
I don't know.
Is that what happens? Like after menopause or something?
I think it does.
I don't think we have to worry about fucking as much after menopause because I think like our drive goes down a little bit.
Does it?
Our peak drive is like 20s, 30s, and then after that,
30s.
But it's still like I think more than people let on.
No, old people be fucking.
Yeah,
they have the STDs were on the rise in like the nursing homes because
they were getting what was the one chlamydia
and HIV.
HIV.
I did read, and this was years ago, but I was reading it was what?
We're on the same level today.
Yeah, because they thought everybody, they were like, oh, we're all old and nobody has anything. I'm like, we still getting tested.
There's still fuck boys in that retirement
absolutely.
home.
Yeah, because you know what? Because the people who are getting into the retiring home nows were out being fuckboys in the 70s when STDs were on the rise.
Right.
So you're still carrying that shit.
also heard that I saw this article and it had like all these old women that lived in like way past their hundreds or whatever, and they were saying
sounds terrible.
But they were like happy, and they were like the key to a happy life is to stay single, and so they're probably fucking
100%.
You know,
I believe that 100%. I know I've said this before. Men are trying to kill us.
But then they always die first. The men die first.
Yeah, but no, that's because they're exhausted from trying to kill us their whole lives.
We are invincible, though.
We're like,
we are. We're so resilient. We're so resilient. But they are. No, they trying to kill us. Even the good ones, they trying to kill us. Like, they just be doing stupid shit and they don't even know they doing it.
You think it's conscious? Or you said it's unconscious?
Some of them, yeah. Some of them, no. Yeah. It's unintentional for a lot of them. They just don't understand. But if they didn't have us to take care of them, they would all be dead.
When's the last time a guy tried to kill you guys?
Like physically?
I mean, look, if it got that bad.
Yeah, no, the last one that like intentionally was fucking with me, but I say intentionally, but he's unself-aware because he's a narcissistic personality disorder. So he's not self-aware at all. So yes, I don't know if he's aware of the things that he's doing, but to me, I just felt like he does this to every woman that he dates. So I feel like he has to be self-aware to some extent. So, but yeah, no, he was just, he's a pathological liar and a sociopath and potentially a closeted homosexual.
Do you want to fuck him, Pulvy?
Yeah, it sounds like.
Are you attracted?
Sounds like my type.
Sounds like her type.
No, it's just that I'm really like I'm really naive with people, and now I'm still naive. I dated a sociopath, and I tried to protect myself against him. But like I can't spot sociopaths, and so they just like flock to me. And now I've learned after this last one that like actually physically scared me. I've like learned to talk to my friends and be like, here are the facts. Here's what he's done. Do I need to be afraid? Should I proceed? And they've been like helpful in like guiding me and being like, no, he's not like, he's just a fuckboy. He's not a sociopath. Or he's like, maybe, or like maybe.
Some fuckboys are sociopaths and that's why they're fuckboys.
That's true. But some of them aren't. But like,
of course, yeah.
But yeah, so like I can't ever keep anything quiet because I have to ask other people. Otherwise, like these fucking crazies just get in and I'm like, well, everybody's trying and everybody's just as smart as me and we're all like trying to be good people. And that's not the truth.
That's not the case.
I know. I'm really dumb.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's on their self-improvement tip like all the time. Like a lot of us women are. I don't think guys are on that. No. Like I don't think they're consciously trying to be better human beings. A lot of them aren't.
They're trying to be better like at their careers and stuff, but they don't
not a better person.
Not a better person, not interacting with
they're
people.
Like one at a time.
Or they don't count women as being like
as people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're like, I got to do this for my family, I got to do this for my friends, and then when they look at like their relationships, they're fine treating women like shit.
Yeah, it's like Drake syndrome.
Yeah.
Drake is like 100%. I'll take my boys on trips across the country or out of the country and whatever, spend all this money on my boys. But when it comes to women, it's like, you're just so disrespectful.
He's like, I only love my bed and my mama. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's the saddest fucking line.
He loves his bed. But he doesn't love a woman.
I do love my bed, and I do hate a lot of men, so I understand that. But like, they deserve it.
I got a new pillow.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, my neck doesn't hurt today.
Oh,
that's great.
Yeah, what kind of pillow is it? Is it a? It's actually memory foam.
No, it's not like even that new. It's like a pillow that was underneath my normal pillow, and I just flipped it.
Oh. New pillow. That's how you get a new pillow.
Cold side of the pillow.
Yeah, so it felt like a new pillow. I hadn't slept on that one in a minute.
Okay, so that's your self-care investment in yourself.
Get a pillow. I did buy a Drake body pillow.
You did?
Aww.
I did. I haven't gotten the pillow to go inside of it yet, so I just have the pillowcase as of right now.
It looks like his skin.
Oh,
what? When you say like that,
no,
that
it's literally, it's
creepy
just,
as fuck.
I was like, it is made out of his skin. And I got one of my groupie girlfriends to go shave some skin off his back while he was sleeping. She roofied him first and then took a cheese grater.
She's not a monster.
She was very gentle. But yeah, no, it's just a pillowcase that has Drake on it.
Yeah.
I just thought it'd be funny to get a Drake body pillow. But I haven't
used it. Is it shaped like him? Like
it's not shaped like him. It's just a rectangle. And it's just got a photo of him standing up on it like in a tracksuit or something.
Zara has a pillow that was her boyfriend for a while.
Yeah, his name's Nathaniel. It's just like the arm
It looks like a man's
it cuddles
arm.
you.
It's called the boyfriend arm, and I would often just Netflix and chill with him.
She brought him to a wedding.
I did. So there was this one summer where this was like my 5th year in a row that I was single, and it's like, you know, the summer's wedding season. And so, like, I was getting invited to all these weddings and always with a +1. And I'm like, you idiots, you know there is no +1, but then everyone else is bringing a +1. So I'd be, like, pressured to find a +1. And then at one point, like, I just got this pillow idea. And then I was just bringing Nathaniel, my boyfriend arm, to, like, destination weddings, to, like, everything.
Can somebody wife me? I got that Southwest companion pass, and I got nobody to waste it on. Seriously.
Southwest, you trying to get sucked out of a window.
Do you not like going places alone? Because I actually like not being attached to some
I love
dude
that
when I go somewhere.
I love that freedom.
I like going places alone. Like, I'll travel solo and stuff, but when it comes to, like, you know, these social events where, like, everybody else is bringing someone, or, like, everyone else is, you know, tied to someone, and I'm always like the 11th wheel or the 13th wheel or the 17th wheel, there's this pressure for me to just show up with someone.
It's like you got to sit at the end of the table. That's like the least in.
Yeah, and also they're also
prioritize themselves as couples.
It's just so annoying because there's also been times where, like, I wasn't given a +1, and then I was sitting across from an empty chair. You know, so it's like, all right, instead of, like, dealing with this humiliation from my friends, I'm just going to make a joke out of it.
Right.
That's what I did.
Nathaniel
That's the best way to deal with it. But you know what I've heard is that, you know, when you're supposed to manifest things in your life, you're supposed to, like, behave as if they already exist. So did you find that when you had a pillow boyfriend, that you had to get rid of the pillow boyfriend to make an opening for your real boyfriend?
So this is what happened. So this is what happened. I brought Nathaniel, my boyfriend arm pillow, to Mexico.
So he's single now, is what you're saying?
Yeah, he's single.
Is he on Tinder? Can I find him on Bumble?
You can come over and cuddle with him.
Swipe right on your pillow boyfriend.
But, like,
he lives on her couch.
He does live on my couch. So I brought Nathaniel to Mexico to this destination wedding, and then I ended up dating one of the groomsmen. And so he's like, and it was like all part of this, like, story already. So he's like walking, this groomsman who's like, we're like hooking up during this wedding or whatever, and dating after that. Like, he's walking around with Nathaniel, like, oh no, we needed to do this for the Instagram.
For the gram, you guys.
So I have, like, my boyfriend and
your pillow.
My pillow.
So you guys were doing some form of, like, I guess, polygamy.
Yeah, I mean, it was a polyamorous relationship for me. I guess. I don't know.
So you can treat a pillow like a man, but a man can't treat a woman like a person, a pillow,
a pillow person.
Okay,
you guys might be too young. Do you remember pillow people? You guys might be too young.
Think I do. Did DJ Tanner have a pillow person?
I believe so.
On Full House? Yeah.
On her bed. Yeah. It was a pillow, just a square pillow with arms and legs.
Oh, yeah.
And they were really popular back in the day, like in the 90s.
Who knew that they'd be training us for our future?
Who knew I'd be fucking it 20 years later?
Man.
Am I not supposed to hump my pillow person? Is that not what they were built for? I can't wait. For real, though? Sex robots?
Yeah.
Can't wait. They're making, like, have you heard about they're making
male ones.
Companion robots.
Yeah.
So, like, you're not supposed to have sex with it. Like, you get another doll to fuck. But this one is supposed to, like, serve you.
So you got
like,
your main bitch and your side bitch now in robot form?
Oh, absolutely.
No, it's
just like a companion.
When they take over, they're going to be hella mad.
Absolutely. But it's worth it. I think it's worth the risk.
Yeah.
It's like turning into Westworld, but, like, in real life.
Yeah,
like,
we're just going to never interact with people again.
So I've seen the sex robots all over Instagram, like women in these, like, beautiful proportions of, like, big booties and whatever. But it's like, I haven't seen the male version yet. Has anyone seen one?
It's just shitty vibrators that don't work well.
No.
You know?
I don't know what the male version is going to be. Because I can't imagine.
They are making male versions, so I was watching this interview and he said that he was making, like, female versions and then also male versions.
Well, maybe the male version's, like, literally just a saddle with a dick on it. Like,
they have those already.
They already have those.
But the problem. Yeah, you can't really snuggle with that, though. That's the problem.
With your saddle.
Yeah, no, you can't. They need to make one that's
like
like the pillow, like where it's
they need
contoured to your body.
Yeah, exactly.
The biggest, I mean, for me, it's just like I do want someone to, like, snuggle with every once in a while, and I can't snuggle my vibrator.
I think they want it too.
I have a stuffed animal. I have 3. Let me not lie.
I used to
all of them.
I used to hunt my stuffed animals when I didn't understand what puberty was. That was a thing that happened.
Did you ask your parents?
No, fuck no.
Do you think your parents knew what you were doing to your stuffed animals?
Do you know what's crazy is I have like this stuffed animal collection back at my home still, and they have it on display, and I'm like, me and old teddy bear there. We got history. Well, I just like make out with them.
That's my old boo.
Or like when you start like leaning on table corners and you're like, what is this?
Wait, did your parents have sex talks with you?
Oh, this is okay. I had 2 sex talks with my parents. One of them was my mom would just randomly, as we were like pulling into the garage, completely unprompted, just be like, your father and I waited till we were married, and then just like get out of the car. And that was it. And that was it for the first one. And then the second one was when I needed to get the HPV vaccine, and I was on my parents' health insurance, and I was like, hey, I need to get this vaccine. And one of them goes, isn't that for people who are like sexually active? And I was like, well, yeah. And then and then they respond with, yeah, but if you're sexually active, you got a lot of other stuff to worry about. And then the other one goes, yeah, like AIDS and stuff, and walks out of the room.
Jesus. That was it. Well, they don't have a vaccine for AIDS yet, all right? I've been looking.
They do have preventative pills now.
They do have preventative pills,
It's all over SF. I've seen that. I've seen those advertisements everywhere.
Yeah.
My parents had the talk with me when I was 16.
What did they say? Both of them, or was it just your mom?
They sat down together. My dad was talking. My mom was there just to support him, I guess.
Be a woman in the room.
Yeah, and I was 16, so it's like, we knew about fucking.
It's time.
Yeah, like we knew about it since middle school.
I had already fucked by then, yes.
So my dad said something about sperm, and just to be an asshole, I was like, where's sperm? And he looks down, and that was the end of the conversation. That was literally it. That was my sex talk.
My parents never had a talk with me.
Mine didn't either.
That's why Zara's still a virgin.
I'm still a virgin. Yeah.
In their eyes.
Yeah. It's like a don't ask, don't tell thing.
There was this one time in college, there was this girl who's Pakistani, and she completely like avoided, like she was from Pakistan, and she completely like avoided any talk about like sex or like gay jokes, all those things. Like she just would walk out of the room, just completely avoid it. And she kept failing like her English classes. And I kept having to be like, Lita Swan is about sex. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And so I'd have to like help her with the classes. But then when I graduated, I was like, someone needs to teach you about all of this stuff. And it's better that it's me, because I'm going to tell you like the real stuff before you like go out there and you're dealing with like dudes and things. And so I sat this 23-year-old down, and I got to have the sex talk and explain to her like what a vagina was.
She didn't know.
What she didn't even she didn't know. She would just like,
oh no.
And it was the most amazing thing to watch a full-grown adult be like, ew, that's gross. Why would they do that?
Like, where did she grow up?
Pakistan.
She grew so she
and then her family like moved to the States and stuff.
Yeah, so there's like no sexual education.
But then she also was taught to avoid it. So like our undergrad, we were so immature, we were making dick jokes all the time, but she would just like not pay attention like, purposefully. And I was like, you have to. And so I was telling her about what it was and like what diseases and stuff, and she was just like the look of horror in her face. I was like, this would be crazy to learn in my 20s.
How long ago was this? I wonder if she's turned out now. Like,
she's definitely a hoe. Like anybody that didn't.
Paula, you gave her the talk, and now
she's living the whole life I've wanted to live.
She's turned out.
Yeah. I hope so.
Just popping on the dance floor.
I don't understand why people subscribe to the let's not talk about it and it'll just go away. Like, what are you talking about? Everyone is going to have sex. Everybody.
Dude, your parents did. They
Exactly. So what are we talking about? And if
their parents did.
Yeah, if you don't think that the communicating about it is like the only way that people are going to learn about STDs and how to do it properly and unplanned pregnancies, like how else are we going to know it if you don't tell us?
Where does the shame stem from?
Religion?
Definitely.
I think also a lot of people talk about it as a method of controlling women.
That too. Because, misogyny, 100%.
Yeah, because I think the more educated we are, the more likely we are to be able to explore and be able to like use our bodies in the way that we want to
control.
I can't wait to go to Saudi Arabia.
Oh my goodness.
You're gonna have so much fun.
Oh my goodness.
Take 7 pounds of condoms.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna get arrested.
I feel I'm like scared for you.
Yeah,
I'm scared terrifying. For you because it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Have you been?
I haven't been to Saudi, but I went to Pakistan and Dubai, which is like
Dubai is totally
Dubai is like party central, but
Dubai is party. Yeah, but it's
different. Like
still an Arab state.
It's an Arab state, and like you can't there were times where like I didn't feel safe unless like I was with like my guy cousins or something.
So there was a friend of ours that like got, I have cousins that live there, and one of their friends, I flew in for my cousin's wedding, and he had already gotten arrested. And I was like,
we were just landed.
No, he had gotten arrested like 24 hours. Not like he didn't fly in, but
where
it was
was
like,
this?
It was in Dubai. And what happened was they were in the hotel and they were drinking, which is fine. But then he mouthed it off to some of the security people who were like, keep it down. And then he got arrested, and we were all freaking out because they can do anything to you there.
Right.
Like they're like, once you get arrested, like you could disappear. And then so we were all freaking out. The last text message he sent was an inside joke. And then the next day, like right after the wedding, we were like doing the same things. We were trying to figure out how to get him out, but we still have to like have fun at this wedding. And we're pulling out in the party bus, and he comes in.
You're a party bus.
We had a party bus, and he comes in, and he's like in his clothes from the day before, and he's like, I'm going to change and shower, and I'll come out and party with you guys again. Like immediately. It was so funny.
Hilarious.
He likes to party. That's why he likes
Prison
to party.
to the club.
But there was another family member of mine who was like super wasted, and they were in like outside of the club. They like walked into the street, and then the guy put the handcuffs on him, and this family member was like, I'm American. Like he was so drunk, and
An officer put the...
An officer, he was so drunk and he was yelling, and then he walks out into the street. The officer puts the cuff on. He sobers up immediately and goes, I'm American, and they take it off, and then he like he just walks free. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
What an American passport can do for you. It's still not like like they can still like do whatever they want.
Of course,
but
yeah.
Dude, I was asking my dad, like, I was like, are they going to arrest me for having pink hair on my passport and like a little bit of my bra strap showing? Like, I really don't know what
You
the law
don't know
is.
what could happen.
He said it was cool, but I mean,
you should be
don't
fine.
know.
I mean, you have a blue passport, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That has a lot of power on its own.
It has a lot
It
of
does.
power like in India and stuff too. Like people don't know, but they treat Americans way better than they treat like other people.
Candace, did you have any restrictions growing up? Were your parents strict at all or conservative?
They're definitely, my mom was more conservative than my dad, but my dad just never like really talked to me about anything. He was just kind of like funny and like would make jokes and stuff like that. But my mom was the judgmental one who like would not, like my mom talked to me and my sister about like our periods, like getting what's going to happen. But then she never gave us a sex talk. And you know, we weren't like super, like we didn't go to like church like every Sunday, but they did go to church. I was raised in church. But yeah, no, they weren't. I knew people who got treated super strict by their parents, and then they went to college and got super turned out. Like they were strippers.
Oh,
because
wow.
they had strict curfews. My parents weren't like strict curfews like that. So I would say they're probably like medium level, like right in, but they weren't too extreme one to one or
Like
the other.
You didn't feel the need to become a stripper when you went to college.
No.
Is this an older sister or younger?
I have an older sister. Yeah, she's like almost 2 years older than me.
What does she do?
She is still in Cincinnati, and she works for Procter & Gamble. She's like a project manager for Procter & Gamble, which is, you know,
Does all of
biggest company in Cincinnati.
Does all of Cincinnati work for P&G?
Most of it.
Seems like it.
It's most
Cincinnati,
of it.
sponsored by P&G.
It's huge. Yeah. And they own and have created like every commercial product. Like if you're deodorant that you're wearing, P&G. Toothpaste that you're using,
Yep.
P&G.
Shout out to P&G.
Detergent for your laundry. Shout out to Procter & Gamble.
Please sponsor this podcast.
I know, right?
Were you ever pressured to, like, was that your path that you were thinking of? Like, you'd go to college and you'd get a nice job at P&G. Like, was that?
Kind of, yeah. And then I didn't realize how much I hated desk jobs until like, because what my plan was, and which is what I did, is I graduated from school. My parents let me live at home for a few years, and I just saved up money because I knew I wanted to come out here, and I knew I didn't want to have to live out of a car. So I was like, I want to go out there with some money. I don't know anyone. I don't have a job linked up. So I just want to like have some type of a safety net. But yeah, I didn't realize that I hated until what my first job out of college was Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Were you in their leadership development program?
That's where everybody goes.
Management training
That's where everyone
program?
goes. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
you're hired as. Everybody.
Yep,
You have to have a college degree to work there, which a lot of people don't even know. But yeah, that's their requirement. You have to have a college degree, and you start as a management trainee. But you're just renting cars.
Yeah.
And I hated it. And then I went from
Watching
that.
you deal with people every day.
It was terrible. Like you have to go, Enterprise will pick you up. So we have to go pick people up. Like that's their motto. And so I would have to go pick up like strange dudes a lot of the time. I was like, this isn't safe. And so then my next job after that was Jenny Craig.
What did you do for Jenny Craig?
I was a program director at Jenny Craig because, I majored in dietetics and health. So I was like, well, this is something that at least be in. But I hated
You're helping people.
Yeah, but
You
I
didn't like dealing with fat women?
not as much as I liked making fun of them. It just
damn.
Oh my God, Candace, what about those high school thickness days?
Oh yeah, I was thick. I wasn't obese. Yeah, you know, there's a difference.
Look good.
Thank you. No, I'm telling you, dudes loved it. Dudes like thick women, and they try it. There are a lot of dudes who are like chubby chasers. And
you were very popular in high school.
I love that there's a name for it now. I've been trying to the thick thing. Like I feel like that's been around, but it's like now it's with popular. Rihanna, it's like super popular. But I like want to apply it to. I was trying to make thick Kanye work for a while, and none of my male friends were having it. They're like, he's not thick.
He is thick.
He is thick.
He's he's voluptuous right now.
They view it as like a sexual thing, so they're like, "Don't say that." And I'm like,
"Of course it is," because men are so stupid they can't discern that we're just making a joke and that you can't. You know what I could go on for days about how stupid men are.
Men are stupid. But I was talking about getting a facial the other day, and I swear, like all the men just started giggling like idiots. Wow. And I'm like, we're talking about the spa, you assholes.
What are we talking about? Like that's so
yeah.
What's the giggle about?
Anything. Like I had no idea.
You go from zero to come on your face.
Yeah,
like Jesus, you can't even talk about going to the spa.
No.
Yeah,
I remember like being in college because I've always been goofy, and I used to wear these. This one particular day I got these fake teeth that you put in that look like these hillbilly
that's funny.
Missing teeth, buck teeth, and I wore them to the club one night.
Yes,
and dudes were legit getting mad, like.
Fuck you.
Take that shit out of your mouth. Like yelling at me. Like
why?
Because you're for
why? Because they're stupid. What have we learned? Have we learned nothing?
Because apparently it's our job to look attractive.
So like you can't even take a joke. Like, oh my God, this just happened. So I posted a sketch on my Instagram just recently. I did a sketch with Rob Christensen. I don't know if you guys know him, very funny comic, but he has this web series called Graph Dad, where he's a graffiti dad, because that's how he grew up. He grew up being in graffiti and street art, and that's like just his niche. So he started a web series called Graph Dad, and he was like, Candace, will you be Graph Mom? Will you be my wife? And I was like, sure. So in the sketch, they needed me to look like a mom, and I showed up, to the sketch how I normally look, and he was like, you just don't look like a mom at all. So he was like, we got to mom you up. He's like, put these pants on, put on this wig, and it's this really like dorky, corny looking, I can't even describe.
Did you put on mom jeans or something?
Yeah, I had on like these high-waisted mom jeans with like a floral print button down. And then I posted on my Instagram, and a male comic sends me a text message, like a screenshot of me with the wig on, and writes, no.
Yo, I've been getting that a lot too, where I'll post jokes and things, and then they'll screenshot it, they'll send it to me and tell me that I like deserve all the DMs I'm about to get, or like some just like random shit. And I'm like, this, like, fucking don't say anything. Just don't say anything.
Don't say anything.
You're the one DMing me. You're the one harassing me.
Why are you inviting this? You're the one that is initiating this.
That's where your mind's going, not mine.
Right. Like, and I'm like, what? Okay, so
I mean, no.
I was like, that's a wig, right? Like, I didn't choose to cut my hair, and I said, this is for a sketch. You're aware of what comedy is, right? And then he writes back, well, yeah, I mean, I just think you're like a Picasso, and then you messed it up with this wig, and I'm like, it's for a sketch, you idiot.
It's not even for him. Fuck you.
And what are you talking about?
Who made him the authority on what you're allowed to do?
Thank you.
Like, what the fuck? I don't understand. When men say these things to me, I'm like, go jump off a cliff. Just go jump off a cliff.
I really like there have been like funny tweets that I post, and I have to like post underneath them, don't DM me or don't comment on this, because I really mourn the loss of all the
and they're still gonna do it,
of all the funny fucking tweets that I know women that don't post tweets because they don't want to get like all these DMs, and it's like they're funny, like I'm gonna love it, like I mourn the loss of them.
Yeah, I post it. I post stuff.
I know I do that too.
Don't give a shit anymore.
I do that too.
If you post anything that's like even mildly sexual or a joke involving anything that's sexual, it's like you're just opening the floodgates for guys to just be like, hey girl. And it's like,
you post a beautiful picture on Facebook, and then like guys will just take it as an invitation to write whatever. It's like, this is Facebook. I'm friends with my parents on Facebook.
Do you know what's weird though is that I've been doing that, and like so all my like nerd friends and my science friends, like all engineering friends, they see that stuff, and a lot of the weird DMs or comments I get are from those guys because they think that like comedy is cool, and like they think that they're like, this is so cool that you're doing it, so they follow me and stuff. But then I haven't seen them in like 6 years, and then they start DMing me because they think that because I made a sex joke, I want to fuck them, or or some shit. And it's just like, I'm like, you're supposed to be a smart one. Like, what's happening? No, like it's so weird. It like opened the floodgates to both like comedians and like these fucking
regular people that are also stupid.
But it's so weird. I like didn't expect. I was like, God damn it!
I can't. I'm exhausted. That's all I have to. I'm exhausted.
We're tired. God damn it.
Exhausted.
One of my uncles saw my YouTube video where I was talking about like Tinder is just everyone who's like down to DTF, down to fornicate.
Fornicate.
Yeah. And he pulled me aside last time I went home and he was like, you have to take this video down. It's very unladylike to talk like this. And what are people going to think? Type of thing. Like, and I'm like, are you serious? I censored it as a joke. Like, why would I?
Right.
But it's
still too edgy.
Still too much. Like, God forbid I say the word fornicate on stage,
Yeah, God forbid you live.
You're not supposed to be talking or thinking about or having sex.
Meanwhile, at every wedding function we have in the family, this guy's out there front and center shaking his hips like Shakira. Like, it's just like, what?
Yo, people in my family, like the dudes will tell these like dirty jokes and stuff just sitting around. And I'm like, I'm doing what you're doing, but on stage.
Right.
And better. Right. So it's like weird to me. I think there's also like in our culture, at least there's a lot of like appearance issues.
Yeah.
And so like they don't want you to like look like bad for the rest of the family or for like family friends.
That's a very big in definitely. Well, I don't know if it's big. It was big in my family. Like my mom was always concerned. I know with just Asian cultures in general, I think that's a big thing. But my specific family, like my mom was always concerned about what will the neighbors think. Like I'm
were
like,
you
why
guys that close with your neighbors?
Yeah,
like, were
it's like New York and I guess Cincinnati.
It didn't matter. Like my parents, they were cool with them, but would I say that a bunch of them were actually like friends? No, my mom was just doing that hoity-toity. Like we have to keep up appearances, and my mom totally subscribes to that. She would be I remember one time, oh my God, I was babysitting. Me and my friend who lived behind us in the house behind us, Michelle, we were babysitting and we had had some guys come over to the house where we were babysitting.
Risque.
But nothing.
I've seen this
like
in
literally.
Movies. I've seen this in movies about growing up in the U.S.
Oh, we were bad.
Oh,
and I think we were we were watching some kids in the same neighborhood. So I lived here, Michelle lived here, and we were watching somebody's kids who lived like down the street.
Mm-hmm. And then boys came over.
Were
they cute?
Dating.
Were they cute at least?
Say by the bell type.
Two of them were maybe.
How old?
Wait,
3.
There were more than 2?
I think there were 3.
This was like high school?
This was in high school.
Okay.
And
Candace was popular. We get it.
I'd be trying to outsource the babysitting. I'd be like, can you?
Were you homecoming queen or something?
No, not at all. No, my sister was definitely more popular. I was that chick who like floated between nerds and popular. Because I was in band, but I was also a cheerleader.
I feel like a lot of comedians did that. We just sort of get in where we fit everywhere.
all over
I did
the
that
place.
too.
Not have one clique.
Yeah, no, not at all. Even like in school, like I never pledged anything. I was never a sorority or anything like that. I was kind of like me, fi me. But I I could fit in most of
me, fi me.
Yeah, me, fi me.
I like that.
Yeah, no. But yeah, so we were babysitting, and yeah, none of us were dating any of these guys. They were just friends. And actually, wait, no, I think I was dating one of them. I was dating one of them, but nothing happened. It was this was so long ago.
It was like a high school relationship or middle school.
Oh, you know what? It wasn't high school. We were junior high.
All right.
We were in junior high.
So it's like you didn't even get to second base with this.
You're like holding hands with him and that.
Not this night. I mean, maybe we had, I don't remember what the timing was. I don't remember if we had already.
Listen, dude who remembers this story, you didn't mean anything to her.
Oh, his name was Chad Scott.
Chad Scott.
How
where
do you have 2 first white names as one real name?
I've never dated a white dude before, except for Chad Scott. That was in 8th grade.
That's like something you would make up.
Yeah, no, it's so basic. It's the basic.
Are you Facebook friends with Chad?
I think so.
Shout out to Chad.
I think so.
You got to tag him on this.
Yeah. You know. Make sure you listen to this. Yeah, no, he dumped me. It's fine.
What?
So
how
after you brought him babysitting with you,
I brought him over to babysit
and potentially.
But wait. So my parents. Okay, so this. So we had them come over. It was completely innocent. Nobody did anything. We were just watching television and like cracking, making jokes and stuff. So then, maybe like a week or 2 weeks later, I get a phone call from Rochelle, who was Michelle's older sister. She called. I picked up the phone just coincidentally, and she was like, Candace. And I said, yes. And she goes, they know. And just hung up the phone.
Oh, no.
And I knew immediately what she was talking about.
Oh, my God.
So I was just bracing myself for, then the phone rang again, and it was the mom, Michelle and Rochelle's mom, calling my parents.
Yeah.
I hear, Candice Nicole Thompson. And I have to go downstairs. My dad smacks me in the face, in the mouth.
Oh.
And the biggest thing was, what will the neighbors think? Because apparently the youngest kid over there had dimed us out. The youngest kid that we were babysitting told that there were guys over there and spilled the beans.
Snitch.
And then
Who is this snitch? Let's name the snitch right now.
Tag the snitch.
Snitches get stitches.
I don't even remember the kid.
This is what we were talking about with Hassan's special, like what will they think?
Yeah.
That repeated refrain.
Yeah. Who is they? Who are we doing this for?
Other people that make us really stressed out, and we got to pass that stress on to you.
I don't care what other people think.
You're going to give that much power to the neighbors?
Right.
What did they pay your mortgage? Like, who cares?
Right, who cares?
Also,
they just didn't want people thinking I was being a hoe and having sex in there. I'm like, well, we weren't. I was like 12. I was like, calm down.
I don't know if this translates, but for my mom and dad, everything was like, oh, who's going to marry you now? So it was like, don't do this because
damaged goods.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't do this because it'll ruin your reputation. Then no one will want to marry you. So every single thing, every single disappointment was me like somehow related to no one's going to marry you. Like
ruining, you're devaluing your
exactly.
vagina.
So it's like, I always have to be on my best behavior because then no one's going to want to marry me.
How many
which is true in general. Like, nobody wants to marry me anyway. So
I know, exactly. Like,
in 2018.
Listen, it's not because of what we've done to our bodies. It's because of what we've done to our minds that men don't want to marry.
Exactly.
Hello.
I was just going to say, how many dudes in 2018 want to be with a virgin?
Exactly.
Right.
Like,
I don't
who's
know.
looking for a virgin right now?
Actually,
you know what?
weird
Actually,
fetishize
there
ISIS.
is right.
ISIS
It's
is
usually
looking
white
for
men.
virgins. ISIS is looking for virgins. That's about it. Like no one else. Like you can't sell virgins
I'm
to
telling
anybody.
you, a lot of white dudes and this pedophilia is real.
Oh God.
What?
I'm dead serious. Look, do you not watch? Have you ever seen To Catch a Predator?
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
It's just real. Dudes be online. There's a one on Amazon right now, Amazon Prime. I forget what it's called, but there's a dude who poses as a like 13-year-old girl and like goes and catches all puts them on
I've heard of
camera.
that.
Catfishes them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely
It's
heard
hot
of
in
this.
these streets, man.
Well, there's a database of pedophiles now. So
And R. Kelly.
Yeah.
He's got his own database.
everybody.
Let's be real. That guy's a pedophile.
Oh, yeah,
100%
real.
He's been caught going to high schools, and he married Aaliyah when she was 15.
Yeah,
We've
that's
known about
crazy.
this since the 90s.
Was
like
when
it's
she was
insane.
15 or 14?
One better than the other.
I don't know.
Like,
To them, ages ain't nothing but a number. So
Well, when you think about that, it's like, he produced a song that she had called "Age Ain't Nothing But a Number." Like they were telling us.
People knew this. No one.
Oh yeah, it wasn't a secret. Her parents signed off on it. Like we knew about this.
that,
Why?
I can't believe
How does
why
that
would your
happen?
parents?
How do your parents
Because
sign off on
parents
that?
see celebrity and they don't.
Money.
Because people ain't shit.
And
we wonder why the people that we meet regularly ain't shits because their parents weren't shit. If your mama won't shit, you ain't gonna be shit.
Hey, happy Mother's
just
Day
facts.
to all the terrible moms out there.
Mother's Day, everybody.
Thanks for raising that psychopath that ruined my life 3 years ago.
I am tired of raising other women's children for them, like these dudes.
This is true.
I'm tired of doing it.
It's true. Like I honestly, what I started doing with, and I learned this from a couple of other my female friends, is that if a dude does something to me that's like some fuck shit. Back in the day, I would just like let it go and I would just be like, fuck him. And I would just move on and I wouldn't tell him about it. But now it's like I make an effort to tell this dude what he has done.
Oh, I do that too.
As just basically, so for the next woman, it's basically I'm giving back to the community.
You are.
Yeah, I do that too.
You are.
So they know.
I love it.
And whether or not they care and they change, that's on them. But I did my part. Even when they're nice guys. Like I went out with a very nice guy a couple weeks ago. But he came on way too strong. Like he came on and like after the first date kept texting me and like was just too much. And I lost interest very quickly because he showed his hand too quickly and he was too excited. And I know that sounds crazy because like, don't you want a guy that's excited? I'm like, yeah, but like not that excited.
It's also like get to know you before you get excited.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Like it
also,
seems
like,
false. It's like I feel like you fall in love with every person you go on a date with.
And have other shit in your life. Like
Have something else going on.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's also a red flag, right? It's like, are you just trying to fill a seat? Like,
Right.
why are you?
Yeah.
You
Well,
of
should be a
course.
little bit more conscious
and
of your
this guy
feelings.
has 3 kids, so like he probably does want like
yeah.
somebody else.
He wants someone to he wants a babysitter.
wait, are you okay
quite
dating
possible.
dudes with kids?
I've never done it before, and apparently now I'm not okay. I'm not okay with it because I just stopped seeing this dude. So, but I told him in the text, I said, dude, I'm sorry, but you came on a little bit too strong. And he appreciated my honesty. And he was like, so now, and he has not dated that much because he's been divorced maybe a few years now. So it's like he doesn't really know. And he's been married since college. So it's like, He didn't know what the dating world was like.
The game is totally different now.
Totally different. He's in his 40s now, and he's got to catch up with Tinder and all these crazy, like, it's too much. So I was like, I'll be nice. I'll tell him. Because at one point I was like, maybe I'll just lie to him so I don't hurt his feelings. But then I was like, no, he deserves to know the truth. And so the next time he meets somebody that he likes, he'll know how to behave.
So this last guy that I dated, like, he was an asshole in multiple, and every time he did something, I'd call him out on it. But I also was like, I like a lot of things about, like, I like you. I like all these things about you, and it's the way you treat me that makes me not want to be around you. And so, like, I feel now that I'm able, like, that's just as satisfying as telling people that I like them.
Yeah.
But then also knowing in my mind that I can like you and just never fuck with you again. Like,
Absolutely.
I can like you and step away if you treat me like shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was super fucking empowering to just be like, I like you. Yeah, I like you.
Yeah.
And then just back.
But I gotta go.
Yeah.
That aside, I have to move on. You suck.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I quit.
You quit.
I quit everything.
No.
Except comedy. You're not quitting comedy.
I'm not quitting
That's
comedy.
bae.
So question on your comedy journey. So what were you doing to, like, keep afloat and not end up in a van and homeless?
Oh, I worked
while
a job.
pursuing the dream. Oh, you did? Out here in LA?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. My first job out here was at Sylvan Learning Center. I'm the most insubordinate person that does not need to be in charge of children, and that's what I was doing for like the first year and a half when I moved out here. Yeah, they had me as a center manager. And oh my God, we were so insubordinate. I just remember like being in my office with like other teachers, and we were just like playing cards. Like the kids were just over there. They could have started a fire. We wouldn't have known. We had one of the girls brought a puppy in. We just had a puppy.
You were around children between the babysitting and this.
Right. And that's why. And I think that because of that, these instances I've learned, I just don't want to be around kids. Like you can have kids and I'll visit, you sometimes, but I don't think I want to raise kids. I like sleep too much. I like sleeping.
Can you imagine not sleeping for like years?
My dad has not slept since me and my sister were born.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah.
He's so worried about the two of us. And then you have two daughters, it's like, when you have a son, it's different. But when you have two daughters and one of them lives across the country and you're like, I can't do anything for her.
Yeah.
It's a worry that I don't think I want to even know about. Then when they start like driving and when they start having their own lives, it's terrifying. You have no control.
My dog's too much. I'm like, they're like when you have kids, it's your heart outside of your body. And I was like, my dog is my heart outside of my body. I can't imagine.
Now think about that. Then think about a person that you made that you were responsible for.
That looks like you and the person you most love in the world.
Yeah, no.
That sounds crazy.
It's just, that's a lot.
We were kind of talking about like kids and stuff earlier. And it's like, I don't know. I just think it's so... Is it selfish to have your own kids? Like, do we need more people having kids?
No, we don't. And I do think that it is selfish. 100. Like, if you think about, because people think it's selfish to not have kids. And I'm like, no. I just don't feel like it's necessarily going to fit in my life. But if you have kids, what are the reasons people have kids? Is because, I just want something to love me. What are you talking? That's the most selfish thing. You can't even provide for this person, but you want to have something because you got a hole inside of you that needs to be filled because you can't love yourself without having someone else love you.
Also, the best way to reduce your carbon footprint is to not have kids.
I mean, yes.
Just a little science fact out.
I think
throw that one out there.
I think more intelligent people need to have kids.
They're not though. They're not. I think we're not the ones having kids.
The dumbasses are having kids, and I think that's the problem.
But the thing is like I mentioned in the other podcast, I don't need to pass on my hardware. But I can contribute my software, my experience.
Which is adopting, which is why that's always a great option.
I was watching this documentary series on Netflix that was about young girls in the prison system, it was so heartbreaking. I watched that and I was like, none of them had a chance, man. Their parents were like drug addicts, just in and out of jail, just like none of them had a shot from the beginning. And then there were some of them that were in there that were they didn't have an exit date just because
they had nowhere to go.
They had no guardian to take that. So they were in jail. This girl wanted to spend her birthday on the beach and she was just in like the prison system as a minor because she didn't have any adult that would sign her out out. And that's like, and I watched that and I was like, that's so crazy because they all ended up doing pretty well because of how they set up the counseling and stuff within, and they were graduating high school within the system and stuff. And I was like, man, they just literally just need some discipline and stability. And like, that's all it would take.
I mean, a support system.
I mean, I know like parenting is like way fucking harder than I could ever like imagine at this point, but it's like, it just sucks that there aren't good people like adopting as many, you know, and doing what you were considering doing.
I would definitely consider doing that, but I just need to have more money at this point. Raising a kid is they say you need to have like $1 million for one kid.
It costs a lot of money.
That's insane.
Over the course of their life.
Yeah.
Or is it just till they're 18?
I think it's it was 200,000 until they're 18 was the number that was going around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just like a regular kid. Imagine if you had like a bougie kid, you know?
Yeah. Man, fuck that. I wouldn't let him be bougie.
Like if it had
I would check that in the beginning.
Desires, you know, like, you know, it needed to see every Marvel movie as soon as it came out and all that bullshit.
No,
it's
we're
like,
going to torrent that. We'll torrent that.
No.
If they want to get it.
You can't let them know you have money if you do.
I have another selfish reason for having your own child. I had a lot of like friends die young, and so because of that, I kept accumulating these experiences just to have like I got a tattoo. And mom and
they don't know.
My parents don't know. And
they do now
because they're gonna listen to every podcast I do.
Yeah,
they kind of might. But I got a tattoo. I went bungee jumping. I did all these things just for the experience of having it, like before I died. And that's one thing that like, and the reason I got the tattoo is because I wanted to feel what it felt like, because I didn't even care like really what I got. I just wanted to feel it. So that's something that I think is like like the fact that we can create life in our bodies and like feel that as it's happening. That's a selfish reason that I'd be like, oh man, these like 9 months, and I know it's like painful and terrifying and whatever, but to like build a baby,
be able to do that,
it's crazy. And then like after the 9 months, I'd be like, all right, this is too much.
Well, have you considered being a surrogate for maybe someone who can't carry their own baby?
Not now, but maybe. I don't know.
I also don't want to tear up my vagina. Like I just don't want to do that.
That's a whole but I don't want to devalue mommy vag.
I don't know.
You could have a C-section because now the scars are really small.
Yeah,
but a lot of women are doing C-sections because what's happening. I read this. The most terrifying book I've ever read is called The History of Childbirth by Mary Roach.
Why would you read that?
I don't know. I love a lot of like pop culture thing.
What did Mary Roach have to say?
So she was saying that like a lot of women are getting C-sections because the pelvis of women are not evolving to adapt fast enough to how large the children are getting.
Big ass babies.
Yeah, based on like the stuff we're feeding them and shit in utero.
Corn fed.
Yeah. And so a lot of people are getting C-sections for like cosmetic and their own like scheduling it to get it done quickly. Yeah. But also because of this thing, because like in nature and stuff, it's becoming more risky because our bodies just aren't working for it as fast.
We're not equipped for it.
The babies are growing.
My vegetarian friend who like, she's actually vegan. She like she's like a picky vegan at that. She's like one of the most annoying people to ever go out to dinner with. Mm-hmm. She had a 9.5 pound baby on her vegan diet.
Was the husband big though?
I mean, he's like 6'1", and she's like 5'3" or whatever.
But it's
like
still like that tiny lady pushing out that baby.
Yeah, and she was like the doctor had to like take one of those like, and they even now they have like these old school like wooden suctions or whatever.
That book terrified me.
After that experience, I was like, all right, if I ever do this, it's C-section all the way.
Well, let's find a silver lining for vaginal birth. Maybe the doctor can put an extra stitch in there, just tighten it up for you.
You can't. They do.
Vaginal rejuvenation.
There's like tearing and stuff that happens, and they have to like stitch it up and stuff and fix it. But like it is.
Who had that? Was it Remy Ma? Remy Ma.
It's very common. I think. I think
they're
a lot
talking
more
about
common
it.
than people.
A little extra stitch.
She has like a bunch of kids.
That's awesome to rap about.
She was talking about her how they made her vag pretty. So she was talking about her vaginal rejuvenation.
Oh, but then because she has kids, right?
She has a kid.
She has to. You don't just
unless
whose pussy's just beat up from not having kids. Like
I want
stars.
I want that life. I want that life.
Stormy Daniels.
Stormy. That's the. And then Kylie named her daughter Stormy. Why would you do that?
Because you don't watch the news. You just create the news and you expect the rest of the world to just follow along until they make fun of you.
But did she do this because Stormy Daniels was in like the...
no.
She's
it was completely
who's
separate.
Stormy Daniels? This sounds like a good name.
What?
And then she spelled it the
with
cheap
an I?
way. Yeah, the even worse way.
She just wants the baby to put an eye out, like a heart over the eye.
Wait, How'd she spell storm?
Stormy.
Stormy. Stormi.
That's kind of corny.
It's the worst.
Corny with an I.
Yeah. It's the worst.
You can tell no one in that family is watching news. They're like, no, we create the news.
Yeah,
we don't need to watch
it.
Because like they do like the dumbest shit sometimes.
Whatever.
Like Kylie
We're
Jenner.
talking about it. That's what they wanted.
So like she tweeted out like, does anyone use Snapchat anymore? And like Snapchat lost like so much money.
Oh yeah, and then Rihanna, she called them out because they had some like filter that was like domestic violence.
They had they do a quiz. They kind of do a quiz, and so in this quiz, it was like, would you rather punch Chris Brown or slap Rihanna? One of those. It was something like that.
Something that was like personal to her, and she's like,
and they
Snapchat,
lost money.
I made you. All right? So,
but it's
they lost millions of followers.
But it's also like that's when you know there's no women making decisions in a room. Like if you had one woman who had a voice in that room, she'd be like, no, this is ridiculous. You can't do this. But it's also Snapchat. You guys have a business model that's like reliant on celebrities using it and endorsing it.
Right. So what are you thinking?
So really, like what were you expecting?
Also, they were fizzling anyway. Like their market is like 12-year-olds. Like I just I don't know any adults that are really on there anymore.
I'm just saying, don't have your business model based on what Kylie Jenner thinks of you. And the woman who named her child Stormy.
Dear God.
Speaking of filling voids, we were talking about like addiction. Do you think some people are just addicted to having kids?
That
would be a weird addiction.
Oh,
if that's what it is. But there was, remember the Octomom?
No, I grew up in Utah. I have friends who have 14 siblings.
What?
Yeah. And it's crazy. Like
from one mom.
From one mom. A couple of them were twins. The way that they get away with it though is that they're Mormon. They pay tithe to the church, and then the church just sponsor these babies. Because I was like, you make like less money than my parents do. How are you having like 14 kids?
Yeah, I always wondered about like the Duggar family. Yeah, because there was like 19 of them.
But then they also like were on TV, so they're able to make money from that.
You get that TV money.
But the oldest one, I was like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And she was like, I want to be a mom. And I was like, bitch, you've been a mom to these 14 other kids. Like she would do the mom thing.
She's the oldest.
They don't know any better though. That's what they're conditioned to. That's what happens. You just have a family. Like what? That just sounds so terrible.
That's just never been in my DNA.
Me neither.
Like I have plants. They're doing okay.
Oh man, I kill my plants, but I love animals. I'm good with animals.
I love animals, but like, even with animals, it's like I can enjoy them, and then I want to give them back to their
You're like,
handler.
Okay,
yeah.
I like them until it's like I said right now. Like I've got a cat in my place. It's not my cat. It's just here temporarily. And I don't like cats at all. Like, I'm just not a fan. I don't understand them. They're not fun. They just lay there.
I have this, like, social responsibility thing because I'm like, I think, like, 25 million, like, cats and dogs are euthanized just because of space issues
I
per
get
year.
it. It's sad.
And I'm like, the human society has, like, fucked up them so badly. I'm like, this is something that we need to solve or, like, fix, you know? Like, and so that's why I rescue my doggy. But it also is a thing where it's like, I don't know if he's old. I don't know if I'm going to get another one after him.
Right. It's just it's a lot. Like they're great when they're just having fun and they're adorable, but then when it shits on your carpet or like you have to go home and cancel your plans because you're like, oh, I got to go home and take care of this.
He's been really sick. Like he gets really sick, and so every 6 months,
and it's expensive as fuck.
It is expensive, but it's like I don't know.
But you like I love this thing now, right? You love this thing now, and I got to take care of it.
It's so great to come home to him after comedy and just be like, you would just get a cuddle.
Yeah,
it's the best.
Yeah,
but it's also a huge
best, but it's a huge. Yeah, I want a puppy so badly, but I know.
I love people like that because then you like know what you can handle. I have friends who are just like, I want to get a puppy, and then they do, and it's like you shouldn't even get a plant. Like you don't.
Yeah, no. I had a roommate one time when I used to live in the Valley who went out and got a puppy because I'm sure she just needed some love in her life, and she had to end up taking it back like 3 weeks later. She was like, she returned a puppy.
How do you do
she was
that?
Like, oh, it was just too much having to wake up in the morning and walk her and train her. I'm just like, bitch, what did you think a puppy is?
Has she had one before?
No, I don't think so. She had a cat, but they're completely different.
Yeah.
So yeah, this poor puppy, she took it back.
Do you know what I found out today? My roommate was telling me about this study where like cats know what their name is. They like their ears perk and they control.
Do they though?
No, they control for it. They know what their name is. They just don't care. That's like they were like they like respond instinctually to it, but they're just like they don't change their behavior at all.
That's what I was talking about with this.
They want to do what they want though. Like, can a cat have their autonomy? Like, can they live?
Already locking them inside.
They can, but I just don't understand. Like, I don't know why I see why I want that in my place. Like, I'm like that. Fair. I am like a cat. Like, I want to be left alone. But then what's funny is that the cat will want to be by himself, but then when I'm by myself, will start meowing outside of my door, like, come outside. I'm like, no, bitch, you had your opportunity and you didn't want to fuck with me. So now I got to come. You got to make me feel guilty because now I don't want to fuck with you right now.
They want you when you're not available.
This is like the dude I'm dating. Not dating. Not dating. It's exactly like that.
Dating, not dating?
Yeah, no. Definitely not dating.
I don't understand cats at all.
Anyways.
I just call him Cat. I don't even call him his name. His name is Dill. I call him Cat. They don't respond, so what difference does it make?
Yeah.
We said, me and my manager came over. She was like, who's this? And I was like, his name is Dill. And she was like, is that short for dildo? So I've been calling him Dildo, actually. Dildo and Cat. We go back and forth.
Okay, so if you had to choose between a cat or a baby.
Oh, God.
Cat or baby?
You gotta pick the cat. It can shit on its own.
I mean, I would pick a cat because I wouldn't have to take care of it that much.
Also, it's
I wouldn't like it.
Also, the cat's not gonna grow up and like murder people. You know what I mean?
It
like
might.
You don't
a little
know
bit,
that.
but
You've never left a cat with me for more than 5 years.
Just get an automatic
I'm
weapon.
the first cat that murders somebody.
All right, we usually ask people at the end of our podcast who their favorite Desi celebrity is, and Desi means South Asian, like Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, like just brown people from Asia, and we were
from the subcontinent and around it.
Yeah,
You get the idea.
Yeah.
Who my favorite one is?
Yeah. Besides us three.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Besides you guys,
There's so many to choose from, right?
I mean,
don't you dare say Apu.
well, that's funny because I did meet Hari. How do you say his last name? Kandabalu. Yes, we did a show together at UCB, and he was dope. He was super funny. So I would say like he's kind of killing it right now too.
Yeah, he's got a Netflix special out right now.
Yeah,
go watch
it.
Yeah,
he does. Yeah. I'm gonna go with him.
All right,
he was super nice, and we were tagging jokes together. So yeah, I'm gonna go with him.
That's cool. Dope. And we also ask if you have any dumb questions about Desi people. Is it a safe space? Anything you've ever wondered?
we will not be insulted.
We won't
at all.
Not intentionally.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah. No. I'm trying to think if I even have any.
Were there like Desi people in New York and Cincinnati and stuff when you were growing up?
I mean, enough. Definitely in New York. Yeah, definitely New York, sure. Cincinnati, some enough. I really don't think I have any stupid questions for you guys.
I mean, did you already clear up your questions? Like, I'm sure you have like Indian friends and stuff, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean,
I remember I used one of my good friends growing up in elementary school. His name was Samir Yaradekar. And he used to wear, no, not Samir. He was a good friend. But then there was another guy named Kirat. Who I was friends with. Samir, he was kind of my competition in school, in elementary school, growing up. And so he was so smart, like would get hundreds on like everything. So like,
damn it, Samir.
I would always I hated him on the inside, but I loved him, but I also hated him.
Yeah.
And he also would dip. This was so weird. He would take cheese and bread and dip it in orange juice.
Oh, what?
Do y'all be doing that?
No.
That's my stupid question. Do y'all be doing that?
No. What is that? No, that's just a weird Samir thing.
That's a great question.
And I think it was just like American cheese. Either American or cheddar, and it would just be in white bread in a sandwich, and he would dip it in orange juice.
And then like right after brushing his teeth or something.
No. Well, it was lunchtime, so no, not for brushing. But yeah, I remember one time I mugged him in his head. Because
what?
You slapped the shit out of him.
I didn't slap him. It was a mug. It was definitely a mug. Because he like, what did he like said I did something that I didn't do. Like he told on me about something. And then it got outed that I did not do it. So I walked past his desk and I mugged him in his head and all of his colored pencils flew everywhere. And I got kicked out of class. But anyway, that was Samir. He was my competition in school. And it's okay. Okay, so I'll take that away. You guys don't all dip cheese and bread in orange juice. All right.
Yes.
There we go.
Cool.
I kind of want to try it now, though.
It always looks disgusting. It looked so. And then also like soggy bread.
I know.
Ew.
Like it's fine, like sopping. Like I understand sopping. You guys don't really. You're not really. Oh yeah. Y'all be sopping.
Yeah.
I went to dinner with my manager not that long ago, and we went and had ramen, and there was so much broth left over in the bowl. We were like, there's nothing to sop this broth up with. And I was like, I wish we had some bread or something. And I said I was going to go on a tour to just all the countries that sop and just and call it what's sop. Oh. And with naan and all the curries. Yeah.
I like Ethiopian food, man.
That's what I love
Ethiopian
it's very
food.
Similar.
I'm down for Ethiopian food.
Yeah, they
right
be
now.
sopping.
Yeah.
Dope. All right. Well, with sopping, Candace, where can our fans find you?
Oh, you can find me at Jokes by Candace on all social media and CandiceThompsonComedy.com for my calendar of shows where I'll be performing.
Awesome. And you can find me, Zara Ali Live, on socials. Zara is Zahra.
And I'm Pallavi Ganalan, Pallavi. You can't laugh in the middle or they're going to lose their spot. Let's try it again.
Sorry.
Ready? PallavigunAlan. That's my website, my Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram. It's hard, I know.
Yeah. And I'm Fizadosani. That is spelled Fizaadosani. That is one Z and two A's. I keep saying that, and you're still going to put two Z's and one A's, but it's one Z and two A's. At Fizadosani at everything.
And our social media for facial recognition is Facial Recognition Comedy on Facebook and Instagram. And on Twitter, it's Facial Rec Comedy. And thank you for being with us, Candace.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, thickness.
Bye, everybody.